Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be making salty roasted sunflower seeds. This recipe is a real game changer. It really transforms your sunflower seeds and gives them that super salty flavor that you get from the little packets that you get at the gas station. So I'm going to be showing you that recipe here today. This is really simple. You're just going to need some water, a measuring cup, some salt, and your sunflower seeds. So I got my sunflower seeds from sunflowers I grew outside, and so they're dried up now, and I'm getting ready to go ahead and get them off the heads. Some of the birds and stuff got to some of them, and I think some squirrels did as well, but there's still plenty here. I'm gonna make a big bag of sunflower seeds to kind of snack on this summer, so come along with me. I will show you everything there is to know about roasting sunflower seeds. Okay, so basically with my finger, I'm just kind of rubbing the head, and what happens is the seeds just kind of pop out. And as they pop out, you might get a little bit of some parts of the sunflower head as well. So after this, we're gonna go ahead and wash them. My sunflower heads have been drying for about 2 weeks now. If you haven't watched my video on how I harvested the sunflowers, I do have a video on this channel showing how I harvest my sunflowers. So these sunflowers were grown in my garden. I think I grew them for about 3 or 4 months, and they got really tall, about 8 feet tall. And the heads are a little bit smaller than the mammoth sunflowers that I'm used to growing, but they still have a ton of seeds on them. And so it's still gonna be really good to roast them today. Roasting them is something that I do every summer. If I can kind of hang on to the heads a little bit longer, I'll roast them in the fall, but it's usually a summertime activity that I do. And I love to eat sunflower seeds. I can remember before I ever had, a garden or sunflowers that I harvested, I would buy the little sunflower seed packets at the gas station, and they come in different flavors and all kinds of stuff. And I would eat those at my desk at work. So it's just something to kind of snack on and pass the time, and it's also quite healthy. So you can also, with this recipe, add in different flavorings, so keep that in mind. You don't just have to use salt. If you like garlic powder, if you like some sort of like spicy chili powder or something, you can add in whatever you like at a certain point in this recipe, and I'll show you that here to come. So what I'm doing here is just taking all the seeds off the head and kind of just putting them aside. Behind me on my stove, I have like a big pot, and it's got water in it. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna boil our sunflower seeds. And what we're gonna do this for is so that the sunflower seeds get kind of immersed and embedded with salt. So you can kind of roast sunflower seeds by just sprinkling salt on top, but that only covers the top. When you get sunflower seeds, let's say at the gas station or somewhere like that, you'll notice that the sunflower seed has, flavor throughout, and that's because it's been boiled into it. So that's what we're going to be doing here today. We're going to be boiling our sunflower seeds with salt, and that's going to infuse the salt all throughout the seed so that you can also kind of just suck on that seed and you will get that salty flavor. So I love to keep these in a Ziploc bag on my table here in the kitchen and have people just come by and grab a bunch and just snack on them. So it's something that I like to do and have in the summer once our sunflower seeds have been harvested. All right, so now I'm just kind of washing them here in the sink. As I said, as you're just kind of getting them out of the head, if you're using, some garden sunflower seeds, you're gonna get little pieces of the sunflower in there. And even though I've tried to clean off everything from the sunflower head, there's still little pieces that come through. Okay, now we can get ready to boil them. We're gonna put them directly into our pot, and we're gonna cover them with about 2 inches of water. So just make sure that there is enough water for them to float. And then you're gonna get your salt. You're gonna add in 2 tablespoons of salt per cup of sunflower. And I know that sounds like a lot, but it's just what it needs. And so go ahead and add in what you need depending on how many sunflower seeds you have, and kind of mix it together like this. And then you're going to turn your heat on your stove to whatever it takes for you to boil, about medium to high heat or medium heat, and go ahead and let it just sit there a little bit until it starts to boil. And when it starts to boil, you're going to go ahead and leave them there for about 15 to 20 minutes. This is going to create this really yummy kind of earthy smell throughout your home. And then once they are done boiling, you can kind of strain them out, get all of that liquid off of them, and you can lay them out on your cookie sheet like this. And if you want to, you can pat them dry, or you can just let them sit on the cookie sheet for just a little bit so that they get a little bit drier. You don't want them like soaking wet when they go into the oven. So just make sure that they are just kind of, you know, a little bit wet, but not really all the way soaking wet, or any puddles of salt water or anything like that. So spread them out to where they're like a single even layer, and you're just going to spread them out onto your cookie sheet. Go ahead and turn on your oven to 300 degrees. You're going to go ahead and roast them in your oven at 300 degrees for about 40 minutes. And you don't want to over bake them because they will get like a bitter taste on the inside. So make sure you just bake them for about 40 minutes. If you're kind of not sure, you know, how your sunflower seeds are. This year my sunflower seeds are a little bit smaller, as you can see. I think these were called Virginia sunflowers or something like that. And so the seeds are a little bit smaller than the mammoth sunflower seeds I'm used to. You may want to check your sunflower seeds at around 30 minutes, depending on the size of your seed. Okay, so mine are pretty much dry as I want them to be, and now I'm going to go ahead and put them in the oven at 300 degrees. I've set my timer for 30 minutes, and so I've gotten them out. And I did check them at 30 minutes and they were still a little bit wet, so I put them back in for the next 10 minutes. This is 40 minutes. As you can see, the shells are totally dry. They don't have like wet spots on them, and that's how you know that they're done. You can also pick one out and you can crack it and see if it cracks like a nice sunflower seed cracks, and that'll indicate that they are done. So mine are done, and you can see how they are dry, how they look. If you were here, you would smell how it smells in the house, and they are salty. So I've tried a few and they are delicious. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put them into my Ziploc bag to store them here and keep them at my kitchen table. But you can also store them in mason jars, and I've done that in the past when I've had a ton of them. This year, this is pretty much all the sunflower seeds I have. I had a little bit left over from the heads that I didn't pick off all the way, and I'm going to go ahead and give those to the birds. So I'm going to set those outside in my backyard, and the birds or the squirrels will get to them eventually. So you can also save your seeds before you roast them to plant them again next year. So you can do that as well, but I went ahead and I pretty much roasted everything that I had, other than the little ones that were just still stuck in the head. And so this is what I produced this year. It's a lot less than I usually do, but this will last us for a while. I usually just grab a handful and I go sit down somewhere and crack them, and it's just kind of like a grounding little bit of sunshine that you can get from these sunflower seeds that I enjoy every summer. That's what they look like. I find them so beautiful. I like the stripes on them. Thank you so much for coming along for today's video, and I will catch you on our next one.